All right, now that we're done with the Mini 30 and all that, we can get into a new one. This is something I just picked up. It's a Norinco 1911. All right, and I know it's Norinco. People are like, oh, Chinese. Like, this is actually a really, really good copy of a 1911, the original Colt. And those of you who've handled Norinco SKSs, I've had a couple of those. Norinco AKs, had a couple of those. I actually had a Norinco Tokarov clone that was chambered in 9mm. Awesome, little 8-round single stack 9mm. I wish I would have never let go of that thing because I got it in a steel and I let it go for like 250 bucks, and I haven't been able to find one since. And they're pretty cool, super reliable, real basic pistol, basic sights, you know, basic operation, but the thing ran flawless. It ate anything you can stuff in it. So this came around. Same thing for deal, not much money into it. Got offered on a trade. I didn't have but 200 bucks into the trade, so it's all said and done, I'm about 200 bucks into this Norinco. As you can see, it's in great shape. And guy said, oh, I put maybe a box of ammo through it, maybe. I took it home, stripped it all down, looked at everything. I mean, there was no indication that that thing had more than a magazine run through it. So I'm pretty happy with it. Went around, looked, see if I could buy some on the internet, different places. Couldn't find one under 500 bucks. Most of them were up closer to 6. They are a really, really, really good copy of the original Colt. So the trigger on them is kind of ugly. It's not real. We got clear there, no magazine. Trigger on it ain't great. It's pretty stout. But the nice thing is you're gonna be able to drop in a lot of Colt parts. So eventually this thing's gonna get the grips on these. I don't know if you can tell. They're plastic Bakelite shit they put on the AKs. They're plastic, they're slick, they're not real nice. So I've got a buddy, Chig's Grip, not a buddy, but guy that I've had cut some grips for me before. Chig's Grips does some 1911 panels and some awesome, really beautiful Ruger revolver panels. Check them guys out, they're awesome. So it'll get Wilson springs, and I'm gonna send it to Novak, and I'm gonna have that front sight. I'm gonna have a dovetail cut in that so I can use some Novak sights on it. The rear sight is dovetailed. These ones actually, it's kind of nice. They've got some white dots on them, so it does make some visibility a little better, but I'm kind of a sight snob. I like to have real pretty sights on my guns. This, probably not a carry pistol for me. It's just 1911s have never been such, but I've never been a huge fan. I've built a couple. I've modified quite a few for some friends. I like playing with them. I like taking them apart and putting all kinds of cool fancy parts on them, whatever. It's not my favorite gun, I know. People think it's the greatest. It's antiquated. It's reliable. It's classic. So if you're not looking to spend a ton of money on one, and you can run into these, like I said, these are great pistols if you can get a hold of one. And this one, I shot, you know, I take any 1911 I handle. First thing I do is I run a couple magazines of ball ammo, and then I'll run a couple magazines of hollow points, and I'll run a couple magazines of lead cast, see what they'll run. Some 1911s are finicky. They're only gonna run ball ammo. This thing ate up ball ammo and brass case, steel case, no problem. Also ran out some jacketed flat point, no problem. And then I got into some hand loads that I got, some hollow points, both Hornady's XTP and the Hornady HAPs that I had loaded for my Glock 21. ran flawless through this, didn't have a single problem. So then I moved on to the lead cast. I got some round nose, kind of wad cutter based lead cast, 200, 220 grain. Ate every single one of those I put in it. So this thing has fed everything I've put through it reliably. I've got some steel case here. Guy gave me with the pistol. These mags are the 7-round mags. I tried a buddy's 8-round mag that he had in an ATI. It can't remember if it fed good in mine or mine didn't feed good in his, but you know, with any 1911, there's so many copies and so many different magazines. Magazines are cheap and a dime a dozen, you know, buy 5 or 6 of them, see which ones run. So I've just got some cheap aluminum case, 230 grain Blazer. Guy gave me like 100 rounds with the pistol, so we'll I don't know, we might shoot at that same 30-yard target that I was shooting a mini at just for the fun of it. So let's see, can you, yeah, not that it really matters, but you can watch. I like something that'll shoot steel and aluminum case, cheap stuff. I load 90% of my own ammo. I come in here to crap weather, snow on the ground and stuff. I'm picky about picking up my brass. I like something that'll shoot whatever I want to feed it. That way I could grab a box of cheap ammo off the shelf at Walmart and still be able to shoot it. And this thing I have no complaints about it other than that trigger, but I bought this, or I picked this up with the purpose of customizing it, half building it, whatever, putting some parts on it. I got a buddy that's got an ATI that came to me. He wanted to try and do some modifications to his, and I said, it's been a couple years since I've really put one together, so I decided we'll do one together. I'm not going to do it for you. I'll kind of show you how to run it, and yeah, we'll get after it. I'm going to show you one more thing. Maybe. I brought out this will be the next video. Give me a second here. So, Norinco, 1911, it's a great copy. Show you one more time here. It's great. I mean, it's a good copy. I've got no complaints about it. If you find one, pick it up. If you got some questions about maybe one you've got, shoot me some questions, try and answer them for you. I like the heck out of it. So our next video we would have done today, but I'm a doofus sometimes. I've got a Remington Genesis. Scored this thing for like $100. Couldn't pass it up and wanted to get into muzzleloading deer in the early season for a couple years. I had a CVA Wolf and a Traditions buck stalker. I like the CVA. I went to use it one season. Never really got out and ended up selling it to a buddy who wanted to do the same thing. A couple years later, I ended up with a Traditions buck stalker, kind of same thing. Picked it up right before season, didn't put a whole lot of work into shooting it. Went out, stomped through the woods a day or so, kind of gave up on it. So a buddy of mine at the pawn shop had one of these come in, and he doesn't hold muzzle loaders. He doesn't take muzzle loaders in trade. I don't know how he got this one, but he said, hey, $100, you want it? I said, well, been looking at buying another muzzle loader, so yeah, here we go. So it's a Remington Genesis with a Thompson scope on it. So our next video here will be this, to show you why we ain't gonna do it today. gotta give you a look at what's next. I forgot the breech plug at home. I was cleaning it, got all excited, grabbed everything else, got halfway out here and went, shit. So that'll be it. I'm gonna shoot this Mini a couple more times. You guys have some fun. A little bonus edition. Brought out the 1911, the Norinco, and the Glock 21. Look, I've never been a huge fan of either. I tripped and fell into this Glock 21, and honest to God, I love the shit out of it. I'm not gonna stand here and tell you which one's better, Glock or 1911. I just like listening to the damn arguments. Both fantastic guns. It's just, you know, there's a big generational gap, you know. One's antiquated and one's new and made out of plastic. They both shoot great. So, also, want to talk about the 45 auto Colt pistol caliber. All right, so what I did is I loaded up. These are Hornady, the HAP bullets, 230 grains. I got them from Mid-South Shooters in one of them sample packs. I got 30 rounds, so I decided I'd load them up and see what they did. That's what the Glock 21 did at about, oh, I don't know, 7 yards. That's what the 1911 did with them. Same charge, same case, same bullet, same distance, all that. Now this is 185 grain Spear TMJs. And so is that, and so is that, and so is that. Here's the difference, is on this side, you got the Glock 21 up here and a 1911 down here. These were fired with brass that takes large pistol primers. Now, I know a lot of people that load 45, they throw away the small pistol primer pocket brass. They said, oh, you know, it'll change your whatever, how it shoots. That is small pistol, that's large pistol. So realistically, not a whole lot of difference between them. Same charge, like I said, obviously a different case and that, but same bullet, same two guns. So I got this big old open space here. I think I'm gonna try and have some fun with it. Trying to see if I can flip this around for you. I don't know. I have a feeling we're gonna knock this. There we go. Get out of the way there. We're gonna end up knocking this camera down. Boom, but you know, you got two of these things. You're gonna carry them into combat. Realistically, I guess you're probably not. I put 5 rounds. Now these are the small pistol primers because I wanted to play with them. So, I mean, they're can't shoot this one right left-handed. They are what they are, man. That was a mess, but it was a lot of fun. What do I like shooting better? I think I probably shoot the 1911 better. Just in the way it sits in your hand, you know, it's real slim. There's a whole theory behind a slim grip versus this baseball bat of a grip here. But I enjoy the hell out of shooting the Glock. Damn thing runs good. That target's a mess. It's more funny than anything, but yeah, I think they're both great. Buy them both.